Hey everybody, looks like I'm taping swag that we made the signs with Chalk Couture to go in. So we broke the transfer down and we made 3 separate signs that are going to go in this swag. So we're going to get started. So I have a 26-inch swag here, and we are going to fluff it out a bit. Just kind of get things where they live on the swag. And I'm going to cut the price tag off. Now, they come with this like a little hanger. A lot of them come with a little hanger, but it's pretty flimsy. So I like to take a couple of the evergreen pieces and just wrap them around themselves so I have a nicer hanger there. And then we'll leave that in the back. It's always good to give people a hanger so they know exactly where to hang their beautiful decor that you made for them. So we are going to be using 10-inch mesh. Maybe I want to use 21-inch. Grab that. So we're going to be picking up the colors that are in the sign that we made. So we have black and we have brown and we have gold. So I picked out black, brown, and gold mesh. But we're going to do some poofs, and we're going to do that with the 21-inch mesh. So this is a poly jute mesh with some white in it. And we're just going to let this drop right on the floor so that we can manage it. And we're just going to gather it together at the top. Just like that. And we're going to start right up here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and tie this underneath. I'm going to come out here on the edge and just flip that underneath and give it a tie. So by doing a little fluffing when you start, you know exactly what tie to grab. Okay, so we're going to come around the edge of this, keeping the insides, the edges rolled in, and we're just going to make really small poofs here. I don't want it to get too crazy big. And we're just going to follow the outside edge. I definitely want to keep that teardrop shape to it. And I'm keeping the poofs about the same height. those raw ends on the inside. Just to start bringing in some color and some texture. Again, rolling those edges to the inside. Egg shape. So we're going to get a little smaller with our poofs as we go down. Finding those little evergreens to hang on to it. And then we're going to make a little bigger poof at the end as we come around the corner so that it will actually give us a little bit longer swag at the bottom. And then we're going to come right back up the other side and make our poofs a little bigger as we go up. So that way we'll keep that nice swag shape. And those edges rolled under, side edge of this. Okay. Keep going. The ties get a little bit longer as you come up. You've got a little bit more to work with. And then right at the top, we're going to make another larger poof again. To elongate the swag. Keeping those edges rolled under. And we're going to come right to the back underneath to tie it off. Make sure that's a big enough poof. And I think it is. Should work out just perfect. So we're going to flip it over and leave us an extra long tail. We don't want to hide our hanger. So we're going to come right along the side and tie this in. Looking for ties. These two will work right here. That should work. So we're going to give this a cut. And poof that up. Here's our hanger. And then we're just going to tie that right off, right to the back. So it's underneath, so you're not going to see it. And then we'll push those ties to the back. Make sure my tie is where I need it. And there we go. Our signs are going to be staggered down the middle. So we'll be using this evergreen to glue it to. So that looks good. Now we're going to go back with some curls. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this ready to roll. I'm just going to cut it off nice and straight. Roll it back up so we're ready for the next project. Be sure not to wear nice sweaters and stuff when you're doing this, because those edges of the mesh will grab it and put picks all over it. Okay. Now we're going to come back with some brown and some gold. And so we're just going to cut some curls. And how we're going to do this is I'm just going to roll it out and bring my hand about to the same height each time. So these come out to be somewhere between 17 and 20 inches. Okay, we'll just cut a few of each. Gonna put a lot of these in just to get some of that color coming through. Okay, let's start with that and see where we end up. Okay, so to make our curls, we're just going to let the mesh naturally roll in the way it wants to. Just roll it in like 2 times, just so those raw edges are in the inside, just like that. Okay, you've got the curl, and then you're just going to scrunch up the middle, kind of a ruffle, just like that. Okay, and we're going to go in and add some of these into the mix. And just grab whatever ties you can find. Push it way down in there. We don't want it to get too huge. I'm just going to alternate the colors. So again, let it just roll in the way it naturally wants to. Notice I'm not rolling it super tight. Letting it do what it naturally wants to do. Then we have that, and then I'm just going to walk my hands in, and there we have the little ruffle, cruffle, whatever you want to call it. Just keep adding these in all along the sides. Again, I'm not letting it, I'm pushing it in pretty far in. I don't want this thing to get too big. Get those raw edges on the inside. And walk it in. Kind of letting these fall right between the little poofs that we put in. And just keep going and alternating the colors. I have kind of a little rustic elegance going in this swag. And if you can't find a piece of evergreen where you want to put your little curl, you can always take a chenille stem and cut one of those and tie it in that way. So far, I'm doing fine. Turn the way I want it to. Sometimes Sometimes you gotta manhandle it. Round. Just like that. And then I'm just going to go around the main wire, feed it through and go around the main wire down the middle of the swag. And push it through times. Give it a cut, and then we will come back and add a little glue if necessary, but that gives us our little gold curl there. Let's go back up the other side. So we're keeping that swag shape. To cut a few more curls. Okay, so we're going to need 1, 2, maybe 3 more of each. So same thing, I'm going to pull it out to the same height and give it a cut and squish it together. And then pop it in the swag. Crumple it in. Be so pretty. I'm loving these colors. could add in some light, kind of a natural jute color in this because of the cream in the signs also. If you wanted to add a third color in the mix. Top. Instead of the gold. Okay. And then you can come right down through the middle if you want. If you felt like you needed more color. But this is going to be covered up with a whole lot of stuff. So I think I'm going to save these other two curls. We may add them in at the end. But there is the base. So that is the first part of the swag. I hope you enjoyed this, learned a tip or a trick on how to add in mesh to evergreen swags. I love evergreen wreaths and evergreen swags because they just have like a million cable ties, chenille ties on them already. So it lets me design easier. So there is part one, getting your mesh into your swag. And then we'll come back on the next one and start adding in some of the goodies. See you in a bit.